is dedicated to transforming the culture of medicine. The Lone Institute's Rightcare Alliance initiative is a grassroots social movement. Basically brings together people from different walks of life, professionals, religious and community groups, working toward a society in which Rightcare is accessible to all. Oops, going the wrong way. So what is Rightcare Action Week? So it's this week. It's an initiative where clinicians, patients, and the public come together to show what our healthcare system should look like. And there's various programs and projects throughout the country. So what we're doing this week is one of the projects called What Worries You? This was originally done last year at Washington University at St. Louis by Dr. Dorsett. And the results were presented at CORD, and that's how Dr. Lewis and Dr. Smith found out about it and decided that this would be an interesting project to try to do at county as well. So this year the project has expanded to include 5 years across the country, and the project really, the basis is really to allow us to better understand the concerns and worries of our patients. So what is it? So it's basically, we have these like little note cards, and they're handed out to the patients. I'll show you some examples, and I'll show you some examples of the responses I've gotten from this week. You hand out the cards to the patients. The card literally just asks, what's your biggest worry? You get the cards back, you look at the card, kind of reflect on the answer. You can talk to the patient about it or not talk to the patient about it. I found it to be really helpful actually to talk to the patient. Then you place the cards in the labeled boxes in the ER. At the end of the week, if you've done some of these, I'm going to send out a survey monkey to fill out. It's a survey which basically just asks you how knowing about your patient's biggest worry impacted you and your relationship with your patient. This is what the cards look like. Literally, it's just a card that says, what's your biggest worry? I also have pins that, to hand out as well. So I just want to include some of the responses I got earlier this week. So this was a woman who ended up admitting to the hospital for cellulitis of the hand. She was 80 years old, and her biggest worry was that her 2 grandsons basically didn't come and call and visit her. So actually, I'm going to go visit her today. She's still admitted. So it did impact me. Someone else came in with vaginal bleeding. She was worried about her pregnancy. Another person came in, she had lost her right leg to a thrombus. And her biggest worry was losing her other leg because it's not clear to me how I lost my right leg. And she's worried about being alone as well. And I had another patient who came in, she came in actually with vaginal bleeding and getting admitted to the GYN service. And she was undocumented, and her biggest worry was kind of how to navigate the healthcare system without papers, without documentation. And basically told me that a lot of the reasons she wasn't able to take care of this kind of protracted, prolonged vaginal bleeding was because she couldn't get financially cleared to get endometrial biopsy and to follow up. So that's what we're doing this week. So there's different, I just kind of wanted to ask you guys what you think is easier for you. If I'm going to come to the ER every day and help hand out cards, is it easier for you if I go around to all the active patients, explain to them the project, and give them the cards and just have them hand the cards back to you? Or would you prefer to have cards and be able to hand them out to patients selectively?
Usually one of those is effective, but it kind of helps to open the conversation if you're the one asking your own patient what they're worried.
Yeah, well the cards would go back to you, go back to the actual provider.
So I feel like if I'm the one initiating that conversation, I feel like that's part of the process.
Okay. Okay, so I'll leave that to you guys. Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably get shot for saying this, but I feel like the first point of contact with the patients is either in registration or in the nursing staff. And as they're getting, as they're getting down and ready for us to see them, this would be a great opportunity to give them the card as they're waiting for the provider to see them. Not only because it allows them a chance to fill out the card, but it may also temper their perceived time and wait to a physician if they've got something to do while they're waiting.
Yeah, at Washington University, they actually had the triage nurse hand out the cards. It's a little more difficult to do at county. I think at Downstate we could
scan it, get our patients down.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'll be shocked to say.
Yeah. So we're going to try to have maybe at Downstate too today. We we can trial having the triage nurse hand out the cards, and then in the county, I think we can do like kind of individual people handing out the cards. There's boxes in the ER, they look like, they're just shoe boxes, but they say Rightcare action on them. So you can put the extra pens, I have a bunch of pens too. So I'm gonna come through the ER on the afternoon shift and hand out cards and pens and explain to anyone who didn't read the email I sent or wasn't here today for the presentation, kind of what we're doing. The project is really, there's not really, the end goal is just for us to better understand our patients. It's like really it, and to create a better kind of dynamic and relationship with our patients. So, yeah, any questions? No?
Yeah, I think if anyone is working nights or anything and interested in doing this, get in touch with Logan and maybe grab a couple of cards, you can hand them out to your patients on your own.
Yeah.
As long as you just kind of get the data back. And you'll kind of notice that none of these cards say anything really that medical. It's more just about like, surrounding circumstances. And I think we probably, a lot of the time, don't key in on our patients and just addressing some of these concerns for me.
I think it actually improved my rapport with some patients as well. Like patients who were frustrated about waiting, they felt that they expressed to me that they felt cared about by receiving the card. So that was positive as well.
Logan, are you going to leave some of the cards maybe next to that sheet?
Yeah, I'll leave some of the cards. I'll leave a stack of cards next to the shoebox. And I have to restock some pens, but I'll leave a little baggie of pens as well.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to come in at least like once a day to also just help distribute and help hand out cards and get people involved. Yeah.
I don't know if they've also noticed that a lot of the attendings have this influx of like first and second year students shadowing them for a couple hours each shift. And this, I think this is a great way for them to work on their patient-centered care and start the process with the residents that they're working with as well. It might be something to add to the education, their cards that they have to have signed or whatever time to do that.
Yeah, Dr. Granger.
I think it's great. I think it does show caring. Now, just a question, I may have missed it.
Yeah.
When you get back all your information,
Yeah.
then who are you going to give it to? You try to make changes.
So there's 5 different sites doing this, and we're compiling all that information from all the different sites. And the people who are really in charge of this project are at Washington University at St. Louis after Dorset. And I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do with that information, but they did present last year at Cord, and a lot of it is just to really raise our own personal awareness.
Are you going?
I would think it would be nice also if for example, UHC gave it to Holt or, and,
Yeah, you can do that.
At Kings County, you did it with Xavier,
Mhm.
so they know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kings County would probably be Xavier at this point, and at downstate it would be Roger. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Or you could give it to Mike or Lou Casey
Yeah.
and let him decide who to give it to, but as our chairman. But and he would be very sympathetic to this, there's no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
No, we plan on presenting it again when we have a little data here. And Logan, are we asking people, will it be helpful to kind of jot down like a sentence about the patient presentation?
Yeah, so they are asking, sorry, I missed that point. They are asking to write the chief complaint on the back of the card. And if you can also age and race as well. So that goes on the back of the card.
Do they have that on there?
It's not on there, no.
Okay.
This is something they kind of added a little bit later.
Okay.
You just write chief complaint, age and race on the back.
Maybe we can write it on.
Yeah.
So that way people know what to do,
Right.
especially the cards that you're going to like leave behind.
Yeah,
So that way we don't, that way that piece of information isn't missing so that we can use it better.
yeah. They're attached to the boxes like a little, just a stepwise instruction
Okay.
piece. So people-
Saying they're handing out cards to the patients, that is their biggest worry.
Well,
All right.
thank you.